What is going on YouTube? Cap24 here, coming back with another play out of our red zone scheme that we're doing this week. This play is going to be coming out of the gun wide trail offset week, something we just went ahead and broke down on a formation guide that we have available at our website. This play called slot to buck is becoming one of my favorite plays inside the field and then also in the red zone. I'm going to show you what setup I like in the red zone. We've actually got several that will be on this guide, but this one specifically I want to show you is kind of my go-to one when it comes to trying to score inside the 5, okay? So let's go take a look at it. So first thing I want to mention is I do like this as a right hash mark play as far as getting your best ability to have all the options that are designed on this play. You can run it on different sides of the field. You can run it on the left hash if you want. Your X receiver will definitely be somebody that will be a nice consistent target for you. But if you want all three of your targets that you're looking for, the right hash is the best way to go. Now, the way this is going to be set up, I want to make sure that I show you, is that we're going to change up this RB's route. The first thing you're going to see is the RB is now a backup tight end. I stubbed out my slot receiver for somebody who has a little bit more height, a little bit more ability to go up for a spectacular catch. Now, if you have a slot receiver that matches those type of attributes, by all means, keep them in. You can always take your backup tight end, put it in your tight end position, and then put your real tight end at that RB position because we're going to be blocking our tight end A position. So the way we're doing this is we're taking this RB and we are going to smart route him, okay? Now, I haven't done that yet because both these routes look like they're deep ends, but this RB is actually a post, and because it gets squished on that back end zone line, it definitely gives you the opportunity of going outside of the boundary and making him ineligible. So when we go ahead and smart route him, you're going to see that it's going to be a really nice, tiny little post. That's a really nice route to beat cover 2 when it's actually a little bit more further to the wide side, to the right side. By moving this B over, we're going to be able to get him widened, okay? So the route combination we're going to do here is we're going to block our A tight end, we're going to put the B on a slant, and then we're going to motion him to the left, and we're going to hike it at the left hash mark. I'm not going to throw the ball in this first opportunity. I want to show you where all the reads are, and then we'll go ahead and go through all the coverages and show you where you're supposed to throw it, okay? So we're going to move this guy over, and we're going to hike it as he hits the left hash mark, and we're going to do it right here. I'm just going to wait, and then I'm going to throw the ball at him, okay? Now let's go to instant replay and show you where your reads are. I feel like it's a little bit easier to kind of show you the overview first, and then really actually start throwing the ball. So here we go. Your first read, depending on what coverage it is, your cover 2s, you're really going to want to look at your number 80 here, okay? But I always look first at my running back to see where he is in relation to the user player. He is on a delayed route to the left side, which a lot of times if your user player is backing up to cover that back line, which most people will because they know where they're vulnerable in the red zone, then you're going to be able to throw it underneath to that player as a nice easy option. But so we're going to go run through this. You can look at that running back right away, and you can see how he's on a delayed route, and then he goes to the left. Now, this is what I'm talking about right here. At this point, if that user player in the middle has already made his depth on his coverage, you're going to be able to throw it coming out of that line. So that's the first spot. The second spot we're going to be looking at is over here. You don't want to throw this ball until that slant gets closer to that safety. See, right here, see how that safety, this is cover 2, is kind of blanketed on him. He's going to kind of stay in his area as the slant goes towards him. So as soon as you see that safety is kind of now stationary, that's kind of when I'm going to throw this ball as a high ball to that player and usually pass lead a little bit inside if I can. If the user is now covering both or continues to cover the slant, which is going towards that player, now I'm going to take my eyes this way. I'm going to wait for Julio Jones to come on the back wall and be able to throw it. As a user, it's going to be very, very tough because of the splits of these routes to be able to defend the running back coming out on the short side, the tight end from the outside coming in on his first option, still keep an eye on that slant coming across, and be able to recover, if I don't throw it right away, to the left player. So I wanted to make sure that I showed you from an overview view of all the options first, and then we'll go ahead and show it to you here, actually throwing it to them, how they work against cover 2, cover 3, and cover 4. So go take a look at that now. So what I'm going to do with this cover 2 is base align, and for the offense, what we're going to do is we're going to block our tight end. We're going to put the RB on a smart route, put the B on the slant, move him over, and we're going to go through our progressions, which is going to be Y, then RB, then X. So here we go. We're going to see that Y is going to get over there. Now we're going to throw it to this RB, and you can see how we were able to throw it to him on the back line. Now, what we're trying to do here is make sure that we go ahead and give every option that we can for a quarterback. So we're really reading that middle linebacker. The second option is going to be that X receiver. So we're going to do base align, and we'll go ahead and do the same thing, block that tight end, put the RB on the smart route, B on the slant, move him over, and we're going to go through our progressions, Y, RB, then X. Okay, so here we go. We're looking at Y, looking at RB, and now we're going to throw a high ball to the X. Now, I want to make sure that I point out if you see what I'm doing with my quarterback, okay? What I just did on that play was I drifted to the right, okay? I know that that X is going to be open on this play against cover 2. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to go to the right to get the user's eyes to be on me, to make it look like I'm either going to the slant or the guy in the back of the end zone on the right-hand side. So when I'm doing this, this is what the user's seeing me is I'm drifting right. What I'm trying to do is make sure that I've got a nice passing angle this way, to where when 24 goes ahead and does a nice clear out, we're going to throw a nice ball to the back of the end zone to Julio Jones, right? The main reason for this was, one, to get a better angle of the throw, but really just to get that user to feel like we want him to get out of the middle. The closer he is in the middle is the closer that he can react to this. Now, yes, we highball this ball, so unless they are basically deep enough, they're not going to get any hands on it, but it definitely will give us a much better opportunity to get a clean catch and come down with it with no middle linebacker in the way, right? So that's basically what you can do with your quarterback in order to make this work. So now let's go ahead and change up our defense and put it into cover 3 and show you where we're looking at, okay? So here's cover 3. I'm going to go ahead and put them on hard flash just to make sure that, we're going to be a little bit more true to what you'll see. Same exact situation, blocking the A, putting the RB on the smart route, and put the B on the slant. We'll move the slant over, and we're going to look at the same progressions, okay? Y, RB, then X. So here we go. We're looking at Y first, RB, and then X, okay? So you can see I chose X in that situation, but let's go ahead and take a look at what the defense does and where you can go with your reads there. Now, our first option is always going to be our running back. And the typically Y, cover 4 is really where I like to go with the running back. And so I always look at him first, because if I don't look at him right away, I lose my opportunity against cover 4. And that's your best cover 4 beater, is to your running back, because of the way cover 4 plays the back line a lot better than the cover 3 or cover 2, because obviously you've got 2 players in the throwing zone that we're going for in the cover 4. So when I look at that running back, the first thing we're going to look at, does he get that open? Right here, I'm going to know that he's not going to be where I want him to be when it comes to getting open. The second read is going to be to this tight end. And you're going to see, just like in cover 3, on cover 2, you're going to have that ability to kind of throw it over there. Now, don't dismiss the fact that you could still throw it to that slant, but we really want them to follow the slant. This is really predicated on where the middle linebacker is. But you're going to see here that we take the middle safety with this on that slant. That's why that player gets open where we threw it to Julio. And that's really who we want to go to almost every single time, okay? Julio is our best option because he beats cover 2, he beats cover 3, and typically we don't ever get to that read on cover 4 because we're going to throw it to our running back unless they jump up, and then we're going to throw it there. So there's Julio on the back end, and the reason why he gets so open, like I said, is that slant. Look how that slant takes the safety in the middle, who is supposed to be the deep third, and because he's the deepest player in his middle, he's going to take him to the right, leaving us with a nice opportunity to throw it to him in the back of the end zone. Okay, that's what the play design is for. So let's look at cover 4, and we're going to show you basically base aligned and pressed, right? What most people are going to run. Now, the key player to this is the Y, which is the running back. That's why we tell you the Y is always your first read, because in cover 4, it truly is your best option. The X goes right into the heart of the free safety zone, while the RB does the same thing on the right-hand side. RB does have an opportunity to get open later in the route when we move the B into that player's zone. But for the most part, we really want to make sure that we hit the Y when we have the opportunity to. Now, we do want to run this about 3 yards or back, because of the way that the free safety plays his zone. Imagine us being on the 1 yard line. That Y route is going to be 3 yards into the end zone. If you remember the barrier, the free safety won't go back past 5 yards. So that Y route will actually be in the free safety zone, making it very difficult for us to go to. So that's why we want to be roughly between the 3 and the 5 yard line when running this play. So let's go ahead and run it through, and I'm going to show you basically the Y route as far as an option first, and we'll go from there. So here we go, the Y goes through, and we're going to be able to throw it to him right there on the goal line. You do want to have a receiver that has some catching ability, because this will be roughly something that they get hit right afterwards, right? And what you'll see here is once this guy goes through, we're hitting him underneath. Now look who makes this play. It is that free safety right there. We're going to be able to catch that into that goal line and be able to get that catch, but the free safety is the one that jumps on it. And because of that, we're going to be able to only run this from the 3 to 5 yard line to be able to get in the end zone. You can see how we're about a yard in the end zone. So if we were to back up a couple yards, we still would have been fine. But any closer to that, we would have been closer to the free safety. And that's kind of what I wanted to show you when it comes to the positioning of where that ball is thrown. Now, the second option to cover 4 is going to be this RB, actually, not the X, okay? The X is really not a great option when it comes to cover 4. And when we're going to hit this RB, in case somebody jumps the Y, is after the B goes into his zone. So you see here, he's in the zone. Now, once he jumps, we're going to throw it to him, okay? Let me show you how that looks on instant replay. So basically on this here, you're really still looking for the Y. Now the Y, if he goes through here, see how he got bangled up a little bit? And if that guy, the middle linebacker, jumps the Y, you're going to see that you have this predicament here where you want to throw it to the back of the end zone, but the guy's covering both players. The slant does a good job of kicking out. See how that safety follows the slant? We know that's going to happen. And as soon as you see how our quarterback is already in motion. We're going to throw a high ball pass to him right there and let him come down with it, okay? Now, as you can see, the further we wait, Julio Jones will be open past the goalpost. See, we're going to be able to throw to him over there as a last case scenario. But what we really want to do is go through our progression reads. First is Y. Then we're going to kind of float to the right a little bit, right? We're going to wait for that player to break. If that player breaks, like he does here, we're going to throw it to that player. If he doesn't break, now we're going to be looking back to Julio, and you're going to try to throw it to him. And you want to kind of see that you want to throw it to him right where the goalposts are. And that's really going to be your 3 reads on cover 4. So guys, this is the first play in the red zone scheme that we're showing. We do have a couple more videos for Thursday and Friday lined up for you. And then we'll have our scheme on Friday on our website for the rest of it. So this is definitely something that you see how we were able to look at the programming for the defense, know where they're going to be for as far as the barriers, and attack accordingly to their soft spots, either in the front spots or the back spots when it comes to attacking in the red zone. We'll come up with some different route combinations for you that you guys can go ahead and duplicate in other playbooks. But for the Seattle Seahawks playbook, that's what we're kind of looking at when we do this scheme through all the formations. We do appreciate your support. You guys have been great, and we'll come and see you on the next video tomorrow. Thank you.